Welcome to the Elite Network Association first podcast, and I'm joined today by some amazing people, amazing brands, and I'll let you introduce yourselves. Start from the right.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I run the Amora Imani brand, which is a clothing brand for red carpet events and corporate events, and we design, custom make gowns and embellished dresses.
I am Gurj. I own a streetwear brand called Soi86. Been doing this for about 7 years now. We're a British brand. We're from here. Everything's made here. Material sourced from here. Small family businesses help us produce our designs. We just did a show at Brooklyn Fashion Week. The designs, the clothes were really well received there. So looking forward to pushing things along this year. And you guys are here for that journey. Raf.
Hi, my name is Raffael. I am from Dime Entertainment. We organize concerts in New York. We're very soon going to organize the first reggaeton concert here in London. And Dime Entertainment and the Dime Key, which we do digital marketing and PR pushes for a bunch of clients in the fashion and music world.
I'm your host today for the first podcast, and my name is H. I'm from Bowtieme. I'm the guy that makes bespoke bow ties. Started off making them out of recycled materials from wood, and basically using wooden flooring, wooden cabinets, anything made out of wood. I basically turned into a bow tie, and started upcycling from that. It's been going since 2018. It was difficult during COVID because no one was going out, but we're still here, so it's pretty good. But I've expanded my range from perspex to metal, to basically making anything that a person wants, really. They want to express their inner boss, you come see me at Bowtieme. Well, so today we're going to talk about networking, and it's all about how you can get a bunch of people together and have something amazing. So one of the people that got me into the networking was Sharon. She invited me to the very first networking elite networking association get together back in February, wasn't it? Yeah, back in February, and it was an amazing event that she put together. A lot of brands there, a lot of people networking, and a lot of people said to me, "Hey, you stand out," and I like to stand out, and everyone knows that. So I like to put it out there. How would you want to stand out within a crowd? How would you make your brand known? Because I've got my moustache and my bow ties, but it's how would you make yourself known? Sharon?
I think what's really important to begin with is to become the brand yourself. So with myself, with the gowns, I make sure every time I go out, I wear my own gowns so that I can advertise them, and I make sure to stand out in a crowd and always make something different, not to kind of just blend into the crowd itself, is to try and stand out a bit more, whether it's wearing an outrageous color or something that's just a bit more glamorous than everyone else, so that everyone notices you. And I notice that I'll end up going out with my bag with 20-30 cards, and then I'll always come back with none. I've always ended up giving them all out. So networking for me as well, any events that I go to, make sure I'm always visible to everybody, because I think that's more important than anything, is make sure people associate you and your brand together, and to see what you are as well as a brand. So with my gowns, I always make sure that I've always got my gowns on, and anything that accessories, things like that we make as well, I always make sure that I go out with those. And with the networking itself as well, is just to kind of bring as many people as you can together. There isn't a particular sector that you need to have out when you're in any event. Is anyone is your client, anyone can become a client, and you just don't know who you network with, how they will benefit you in the future. So I think for me it's really important just to make sure that I kind of publicize our brand as much as I can.
That's brilliant.
That's really interesting that you mentioned that you have cards, because nowadays everything's social media, digital. People assume that's the best way of reaching people and being memorable. So do you find actually having the card and physically handing over, this is me, this is who I am, this is how you get hold of me, is still valid nowadays?
I think with myself as well, like with my card, I've tried to make it as different as I can. So I have a picture of the dresses, of myself on there as well, because you can always go home at the end of the night and you'll never look at the cards on the night that you go home. You'll always wake up in the morning and you kind of, especially as a woman, you open your bag and you just think, who gave me that? Who gave me this card? Who gave me this card? But with mine, it's very evident that it was me because I'm on the card. So I like to kind of keep the image in everyone's mind as well, which really helps.
That's
me.
pretty much what I've done with my cards.
Yeah, I just find that it just really helps me because people don't forget you then. They'll always remember you because you've got yourself on your card as well. I think sometimes cards can be very boring and you sort of look at them and you think, I can't remember who this was, and then you just throw it in the bin, don't you? Where with ours, it's the brand. The brand is on the card as well.
That's amazing. So, Gurj, how would you come about getting your brand? How would you say you promote your brand when it comes to networking?
So I'm always in it, like now, and so is Raffael. You guys can't see this, Raf's in it too. But a lot of my clothing, most of it has a meaning behind it. So I wear the most impactful pieces when I'm out, because they're made to spark a conversation. So people ask me, like, what is that? Why are you wearing that? Like, where's that from? What's the story behind that? And I think having a good narrative around your brand, why it exists, really helps you network, because people resonate with why you are existing. If it's just to make money, people don't care, because there's a billion people out there who want to make money. There has to be some compelling story around what you're doing, why you're doing it, or what it is that you're making and how that impacts the world around you. And I think that's really important. So having a compelling story to tell people whilst you're networking is really important for me, because people, I'm a clothing brand. You can walk down the street, there's like hundreds of them, why me? So that's really important to me. And I'm actually lucky in this room right now. Raffael was one of my first customers, and he will probably tell you why he is still, he'll, if I release something new, he's the first person to jump on it.
And he has a very interesting top on as well, and we'd love to hear the little story behind it too.
The innocent part?
The bullet.
The bullet. Well, so you guys are not able to see this, but I'm wearing a black crew, and he has a big white, how do you call it, bold white letters, right?
Yeah.
And then right next to it on the left, he has a one shot. So the reason behind that is that Gurj was so creative, he actually burned an actual piece of a little piece of the bullet right onto the shirt, and then he shows like a little bleeding mark on it. So behind that is like the whole idea of all the police brutality that we have witnessed in the past few years, especially starting on from 2020 and on, and obviously it keeps on going and whatnot. So that's the like Gurj was saying, it's so compelling. It's a conversation piece. I will walk down the street and people will ask me, hey, what are you wearing and why is it that? And I was with some girls in a nightclub the other night. I was like, oh, you're not innocent. That's like a bag of lies. And I said, yes, it's a lie, but this is not a lie. The cost that is about it.
And that I think is important, because if someone can explain the message of your brand, they become like a brand ambassador.
Yeah, brand ambassador.
So he's talking to people. I have no idea who he's spoken to.
Yeah.
So I think that is like an indirect type of networking that draws people into your brand. But I know, like, through this and through meeting so many people, Raffael's actually one of the best networkers that I've ever met, because he just knows everyone, right? And every time I go to New York, he just like has a whole list of people that I can meet whenever. So it'd be interesting to hear from you how you network so well, and like what do you think are like the key things that maybe some other people miss, or like they're just assuming are like that's not worth their time, because everyone nowadays wants instant results.
Well, we live in a microwave world right now. Everyone is looking for instant gratification, and unfortunately things in business don't work that way. Anything that you're doing and that you're creating that is noble, it's not going to happen overnight, and that goes for a business deal, a business partnership, finding the right partner. in your business, finding the right associate for you to exchange business deals with. So for me, I got this down to a science. It's very simple for me. Smile, shake hands, and dial. Super simple. Like, you go into a meeting, a gathering, a party, whatever it is, and you're gonna shake hands with somebody, and you're gonna know in that conversation that that person is somebody worth your time for you to reconnect with that person sometime down that line of that week. But you gotta make that phone call.
Yeah.
If you went to the party, you got the business card, you got the context, or you got the blip that you get like a contact thing and has all the contact info, email, whatnot, which is something that we're using right now. If you get all of that and you went to the party and you invested that time and you don't dial, you wasted your time. You wasted your time and you wasted the productivity of your company, of your brand, and you also wasted that other person's time.
Yeah, because I do feel that we're very new to networking here in the UK. I mean, there is so many network groups now that just keep popping up everywhere, but I think I don't think that we've kind of really mastered it yet.
That's why I think it's a strong topic.
But I think
to start with, right?
with coming from the US, I think it's just been running a lot longer over there, hasn't it, with network events?
Oh
because
yeah, absolutely. Like, but also I want to say that in the past 10, 15 years, there were a lot of like networking groups and apps, for example, like meetups that popped up in the US and a bunch of other ones that are not around today. But you want to go about networking not when you, for example, you mentioned earlier, Sharon, that whenever you go out, you always have a piece that is something that catches the eye.
Yeah, that stands out.
That stands out, right? So once you're out there, I don't know about whether you are picking up clothes from your tailor, whether you're doing your groceries, networking can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
100%.
Anywhere. And the key is you're never gonna be a good networker if you don't like people. It's not gonna happen for you. Because you must be genuinely interested in somebody else other than your own persona.
I think that's the main thing that we came across when I started networking with the guys here, and it's not about having exclusivity to your own brand. It's about networking and sharing each other, not thinking. I mean, we did have a few people where if you're not sharing each other, you're not going to grow.
No.
And it's about promoting each other, and it's not about, okay, if I say with Bowtieme and we network together, and then you got this big deal with the bow ties with the vodka company, and that actually makes you feel a lot better, thinking that, okay, so we did get something out of this networking. It wasn't just, okay, all of us going out. And I feel that that's the way that we are helping each other and pushing each other, and it's the only way forward as brands. Because if you sit there in your own little cocoon and try and think, okay, I want to be so exclusive that I'm not going to share, I'm not going to promote other brands in my stories. I mean, half the time, if you look at my stories in Instagram, it's all other brands, because I just you can send me something and I'll put it straight in. I'm not.
People do not understand that. My bad. I really need to cut you off. People do not understand the power that you have when you actually share somebody else's vision in your platform.
But it means a lot, though. You know what I mean?
No, but it means a lot for that person as well.
But there are a lot of brands out there that will not do that. There's a lot of brands out there that will not do that.
You know, for someone else just to post something, for someone to write a comment, someone to, share, like, all these things.
Yeah.
You know, you like. There's a saying. A customer will become your friend before your friend will become a customer. And I truthfully believe that.
Yes.
Because I've got a lot of friends out there, but not all of them will buy my product. Because they'll always have some sort of excuse or this, that, and the other.
Well, when did I meet you?
We met.
In person.
Yeah.
We met today,
in person we met today,
right?
Yeah, in person we met today.
Okay,
but otherwise we met on Instagram.
But did I buy something from you before?
100%.
But why did I buy it?
Because it caught you, it captured you.
It did, but also it's through the person that I came.
Yeah, through Gurj.
You see? So he posted something of your brand, and that's how I saw it. And then I messaged him and I said, Gurj, what is that? And he said, oh, that's my boy H. He has this bow tie company. They're super exclusive. Check him out. And then I did check him out and I said, okay, I need to buy something because I fucking loved it.
He messaged me.
Yeah.
As soon as he messaged me, we were talking for a little while, and yeah, man, I was like, right, I'll make it. I've got this, and he's like, right, I want the Galaxy one.
Yeah,
you know,
it was very simple and seamless. And then, but people do not understand the power of networking. Like, something happened. Cannot go into the details for what I'll say. The bullet points of the story. So this year I walked into a party of Nathaniel, at a Day Summit, which is a big independent artist for hip hop week-long event in New York. So I go in there and I go one of the nights, and there's this lady that does PR for a bunch of artists in ATL in Atlanta,
right,
which is like the hub of hip hop right now in the US. So this lady needs all the Latino context that I have in the music business, all of them, like everything that I have, which is like my bread and butter. When I told her what I was doing, she's like, "Oh my God, I have like about 5, 6, 7 venues that are owned by owners that are Latinos in Atlanta. I need to do a series of events with you. Please call me." And the next day she was calling me.
Yeah.
So, but what that means for me economically, that means that I am gonna make at least 25 to 30% more revenue this year just because I show up.
Yeah.
To one event, and just because I shook hands with somebody that is on their business, is on their brand, and they understand the value of the person that was in front of them. But so that's why people don't get it. That you showing up first, then you being open to learning about somebody else's business can drastically change your own brand.
Yeah, I think one of the key things that I've noticed is people want something immediately. If they meet you today, tomorrow they ring you, they don't even know you. So it takes a time. It's like a human interaction at the end of the day. You're gonna have like how long have we known each other? It's like 6, 7 years. I don't know. Like it's a while, right? Yeah. So we've been knowing each other for a while, and I'm like, we haven't asked each other for anything really. We're like, there's no, it's like, I'm doing this. Do you want to come through? Yes. You know, we're friends. So, but I know if I needed something like today, I can ring up Raffael and say, I need your help on this. Can you help me? Because this is to do my brand out and I want to go to that next level. Can you help me do that? And the same with him. If he says, look, I'm coming to London, we're doing a concert, I need your help at X, Y, Z, he knows that I'll do the best I can do, right?
Of course.
And for me, it's like, if I'm representing his brand, it's even more stressful because I'm like, I want his event to be very successful because it's the first time he's come here. And that relationship took time. It's not like something overnight. Like I met him yesterday, and what you described is, it happens, you know? It does happen sometimes. You meet someone, you click, and you're both in the same mindset. It's the timing is correct.
Yes.
You can execute on that. But for a lot of people, they're just not in the right spot. But once they know what you're doing, it may take a month, a year, or whatever, 5 years even sometimes, where you're like, my brand now is where we can collaborate, or you know, we can network, and I need to reach into your network. By that time, you create a whole rapport with the person. You don't mind doing that. But a lot of people nowadays are expecting that on day one. They've just met you. They're like, I need this, and I feel like that works sometimes if you know it is a mutually beneficial thing, right?
I think sometimes you can feel that, is it too soon to reach out to someone? You know, if you picked up somebody's card.
Yeah, but I think the way you reached out to me.
So there's always a way to reach out to someone as well.
Met at an award ceremony.
Yeah.
And we met in the queue.
It was quite funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, we literally met in the queue. She turned around and she goes, I love your style. We're going to do something together. And I was like, hello, my name's H. You know what I mean?
I didn't even ask his name.
Wow, that's bold.
That's it.
I didn't even ask him his name. I just said we're working together.
We're going to do something together.
Yeah.
She didn't ask about my business, not ask about nothing. She just looked at me, she's like, we're going to do something together. Yeah. And then after that, we started chatting inside. And, you know, I got to know a bit more about you, got to know a bit more about me. And, you know, and here we are today. You know, that's the power of just being bold and being brave. and just saying what it is you want to do. You know,
I think a lot of people are scared of like, if they say something, then it may be perceived in a certain way, so they don't really take any risks at all. They'll turn up to a party, but just stand in the corner, right? And that's it. They're like, I attended, nothing happened. End of story, And I think a lot of people,
nobody liked me.
Yeah, it's always someone else's fault. And I was at that same event. I was with H, and first time I've really been out, like on a night out with him.
Yeah.
There were like, I don't know, like 500, 600, 1,000 people in the room. This guy spoke to everyone. I saw him I was with him, but I wasn't really with him that night. He was everywhere, like all around the room. I think it'd be really useful to when people listen to this, like if you walk into a room, you don't know anyone, maybe like 2 or 3 people in a room where there's 1,000 people. Like, what would you guys do to get your brand out there to people you don't know? You just walk up to a random person. It's
you know what I do.
You always start with a compliment.
Hold on. But before
Always
we move
start
into
with a
that,
compliment, I think.
100%.
yes,
And if you compliment the person, it takes that coldness out of why
Because
you're
you have to
approaching.
break
the
it down
compliment,
somehow.
the compliment has to be sincere. But there's
Yeah, it
something that I
does.
want to point out to what you said earlier, that the timing has to work, and also when you're initially meeting that other person, your heart has to be in the right place. It cannot be only about me, my brand, and me, and .com. It has to be about you being open to collaborating with someone that you know is going to be beneficial for your business,
100%.
for your brand, and whatnot. If your heart is not in the hard place, it's not going to work. It's like what I call it, like the way that I live my life in terms of my business. I have enlightened self-interest. What that means is my self-interest goes first. I like money, yes. I like to be rewarded by that, but I'm also looking out for other opportunities where I can mention people that I'm in my circle. For example, Gurj is an example of that. But the moment that I had the opportunity to bring him into Brooklyn Fashion Week, I gave him a call. Listen, I need to connect you with Rick Dabby, which is the founder of Brooklyn Fashion Week. Shout out, Rick.
Shout out Rick. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're doing something in London, by the way, with Rick.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
again, if you look at the series of events, right? So we're talking, me and Raffael talking. He's become my customer. He's fully immersed in the brand. And then he's like, I like this, I want to connect you to someone else. So he's connecting me to Rick. Rick's called me to Brooklyn Fashion Week. Brooklyn Fashion Week went phenomenal. They loved it. The crowd loved it. We had the loudest cheer from the crowd.
You were by far the favorite of the night.
But then Raffael was there.
Yeah.
He came to see me backstage. I wasn't expecting. I turned around. He's standing there. Give me a big hug. There's a video that actually I'm gonna post. At the end of the runway, I turned around. He's there right at the end, and I gave him a big hug because he knows this is like 5-6 years in the making.
Of course,
and then
100%.
that event, it meant a lot to me. Went down really well. But now we're doing the same thing in London. So Rick wants to come here. We're going to help him bring that brand here. So you can see the series of events by fostering a relationship genuinely. Like, I didn't want anything from Raffael initially. He didn't want anything from me. We just we know we get on. Let's continue that relationship. And then when you have that respect and you know that it's not just about business, it's about, I like you as a person.
Having good energy.
Yeah. Something may come of this. If it doesn't, that's cool. It's good to know you. I'd love to,
Conversation will spark an opportunity.
Like he's doing things, you guys are doing things. I'm really excited for all of you. When I see you guys post things that you're doing these concerts, your bow ties are going viral. You're in Dubai with your show, Sharon. I'm genuinely happy for you guys. So I'm like, this is my circle, and they're doing so well. So I'm like, I'm never jealous of that. I'm like, I need to work harder. So they are then like, oh,
how do I top these two?
You get inspired.
You get inspired
by it.
because it's not even beating you guys.
They're going to be there for you as well.
Exactly. I want you guys to have the same feeling that I just had watching when you were at concerts, backstage, and these are events that you've hosted. These are like massive reggaeton artists.
I mean, when I saw you in Brooklyn Fashion Show, I instantly felt, okay, so I feel like he's going to do something, but we're going to be part of it too. 100%. He's not going to leave us out of it. He's going to bring us into the network. We're going to be doing something together. So I think that is something that
that's
helps
the mindset.
as well. It's the mindset.
But not everyone's, there's a danger thing. Not everyone's like that.
Yeah.
Guys rang me and he goes, H, Brooklyn Fashion Week next year, you got to come and do it.
Yeah.
You got to do something. He goes, I'll show people your bow ties. He even took my bow ties with him. He's been to America a few times, been to Dubai, and he always takes my bow ties. You'll see him on his stories. He'll be suited and booted, and you'll have my bow tie on. For me, it's such a boost because he's networking my product out of, you know, I haven't told him to do it. You know, it's just pure love. You know, and that's why I think networking in general, everyone has to have that love. You know, if they don't have that love for that person, they would never boost their product. They would never boost anything. You know, because sharing something doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Commenting doesn't cost anything.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? You know, so these small little things that people do, you know, within their own business, to, you know, to promote somebody else's business, it's a massive boost for everyone.
I think as well, when you post in each other's stories, like when you send me something and I'll post it up, and it makes you feel good too.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, oh, she's promoting me and she's put me in her story, and vice versa. When people do that with me, it makes the brand feel good too as well, which part of networking. If you go to, say, so many network events and you get nothing out of it and people are very cold with you, you'll stop networking. But if you're networking and you're getting such a warm reception and people are networking with each other and sharing and saying, oh, what can I do to help you? You're more likely to go out and network more and more. So I think as brands, to become, not just think that we're brands ourselves, but to be there and help other brands as well and other people, and helping everyone to kind of get their step up as well, even with, you know, so much going on in the world now with mental health and things like that. You just never know who needs you at that specific time, and boosting each other in that way. And I think a lot of people look at us and they just see this just great energy that we have. You know, it's so natural as well, and the amount of emails and messages that I get for so many other people that want to work with us at the next event and the next event. From the event that we did in February, I've got so many more people that want to work with us.
You message me, you say to me, H, oh, your bow tie, this person loves your bow tie, they want to do this, want to do that. It just brings an inner happiness that is hard to describe to people, because as everyone's brand is your baby. You know what I mean? You know, you started it, you've got it, and no one sees your vision. You know what I mean? So many people knock you back because they don't see your vision. You know, and if you let that take over, you know, your vision will be destroyed. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know,
you cannot listen to the naysayers.
Yeah, you can't listen to them.
Especially the people that are closest to you, where you think, oh my God, you're supposed to be my biggest fan.
They'll knock you down. They're the first people to tell you what's wrong with your business, what's wrong with your idea.
And they're usually not doing anything themselves.
They're not doing nothing themselves.
I gotta give you a story of that one.
Us.
When you find the naysayers.
None of my closest friends are brought from us, because they just, I don't know if they feel that we should be giving them stuff.
That's what a lot of people want a freebie. That's what they want. You know,
but it's not even about that. Like you said it, like there are people like that they will tell you what's wrong with your business. They tell you these kind of people are.
This is how you should run.
No, this is what I call. No, this is what I call. This is what I call these people, the naysayers. So they tell you about the window. Like they tell you 5 times why that window is actually closed and it's dirty.
Yeah.
And they complain about that window, but they wouldn't go up to the window and actually open it.
Clean it.
Yeah. That's just really what it is about. They will find 5 ways of telling you how the window is closed and how the window is dirty. But they will not go up to the window, stand right next to the frame, and actually exert the little push of energy that you need to actually open it and clean it.
Zero effort.
I found I've been covering doors today.
Somebody that is this window started super clean, by the way. People are not able to see this. But
I think what you raise is like, all of this is around, not everyone you meet and not everyone you network with is actually going to. It's not even like, they may not even be. They may just fade into the background. You may have an initial great conversation and you're like, all right, this is going to be really fruitful for both of us. And it may just be one-way energy. And I think we've all been there where people are sucking more from you and giving you nothing. So you're doing all this stuff. You're promoting their stuff.
Hey, we don't need no more toxic relationships in our life.
Exactly, literally is that.
We have enough of that in our personal relationship and business. If it's not two-way street, bye.
Yeah. And I think it's very normal. It's very healthy to be like...
you just don't need it in your life, you know what I mean? Because Like,
No.
end of the day, look, everyone's here. We got brands. We got something that we've all babied, like we said earlier. And and if you got people out there that just want to take it for a ride and benefit for them, and not benefit you, they just want a freebie.
I've seen Sharon do savage, just cut
Sa-
people out. No,
People
no.
out. That is-
You got to, right? You don't have unlimited
have to.
energy. You don't have
You don't
unlimited
need that
Like,
bad energy.
like I know
You
that
don't
you
need
don't,
them.
you don't know this about me, but like it's somebody that I'm ruthless with that. With that, like if somebody I even smell that is wasting my time, they're done.
Yeah, it's that.
Done. Why? Because time is the highest commodity that we have. Like we're never gonna get it back. We can actually lose money. I lost a bunch of money in the pandemic, but you know what I'm glad of? I didn't lose one family member. I didn't lose one friend during the pandemic. But time is the only commodity that we have in order for us to produce the fruits of our labor and our dreams and our visions.
I was talking about this today with you when I showed you about my post I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
I said time is precious. Live for today.
Yes.
You know, it's
Seize the day.
Time is very
Diem.
precious. You know, and like I went through a bad time a couple of years ago, and I had a bit of cancelling and all the rest of it. And one of the things that we used to say in that is he would turn around and say, "What time is it?" And you say, "The time is now." You know, it's not about it was yesterday, it's 5 minutes. You know, time is now.
Now.
You make it happen now.
Today.
If you got something that you want to make happen, you make
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
Do it.
This goes back to our thing, right? If you're in a room full of people
Yeah.
and you're not going to do anything, you're wasting your own time.
Yeah.
Like no one else's time. They don't even know you're there, right? So if you're at an
Absolutely.
event and the purpose for you was to network and like build up your own brand, and you didn't do anything, you didn't seize that time, and then you just lost time. So you've damaged your own brand.
and also
That's
if you-
why.
and
That's
also-
why you see me running around the room because that time is mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know,
Work in the room.
Yeah, exactly. I give myself a couple of hours, work the room, then I'll have a drink.
But you know, I'm not everyone's good at everything. So I'm really good at like reaching out to people on social media channels and saying, look, I like what you're doing. This is what I do, blah, 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 and maintaining that relationship. But if you put me in a room full of people I don't know, and all you guys know me, I talk a lot, and I find it quite easy. Only if I know you. If it's the first time I'm about to meet someone, I find it very difficult just to walk up to someone and be like, hey, I'm from Soi86, this is my brand, blah, 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 blah. So even for me, I'm like, there's areas that I can improve, and I think this is a continuous journey. As you have your vision, your brand, whatever it is that you're trying to develop, and that's the reason why you're networking, even if it's for your own career or whatever it is, you're not going to be perfect. Even 5-10 years down the line, there's going to be things that you're very good at, and there's going to be other things that you're seeing other people. Like when I'm with H, I'm like, this guy's running rings around the room. I've only spoken to Sharon and like 2 people in the same time. So
I remember the first time when we met,
you were there.
we hardly spoke that
Yeah,
day.
that's me because I
Because
don't.
you were.
I'm very like quiet when I'm like.
But
if I
then
don't
you
know
reached out. We reached out to. I think you reached out to me
Yeah,
on
I
Instagram
did.
because we'd started following each other, and then we started to have a chat, and then we found out that your brand was with the sweatshirts and
Yeah.
and I was.
Well, this is it.
With the dresses and things, but we didn't actually speak on the day.
Yeah.
It was you and me that
It was you and
spoke.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
for-
saw my moustache, my fabulous moustache. And you were like,
I
I
was
need,
sort of turned up
I need,
like
to see, I need,
this.
I need to figure out how the moustache stays up.
And for some of the listeners
blue
that
tablet.
might be listening to this and say, you know what, that's fine for them because like Sharon's very bold and H is very bold and whatnot. Like it's not about that. I'm sure that Sharon and H were not born bold. You actually have to get out there, shake hands, and get yourself out there. Because if you really believe that you can do something, whether that is have the best hair salon in London or go and help in your family business, whatever that is, you gotta know that you gotta trust in yourself and believe in yourself.
Yeah, man.
And part of that is actually going out there, shaking hands, and calling. And if you don't follow up with that, you're wasting everybody's
I'm
time.
gonna be honest with you. If like you see me today, the way I speak and the way I am, I'm very bold, like you said. If
Yeah.
you met me 15 to 20 years ago,
Yeah.
you would not recognize me.
Wait, I thought you were 20 years old, man.
Now, but seriously, you would not recognize me. You would not believe that I'm the person I am. It's
Yeah.
sitting here talking to you openly like this. I used to stutter a lot. You know, I had a really bad stammer. I couldn't get words out. You know, I was shy. You know, there's a lot of things about me that I was very in myself, where I didn't get myself out there.
Yes.
You know, it's only when I turned 18, I started working on the door. But one of the guys that I knew, that I used to work behind the bar, and one of the guys, doorman, came up to me. He goes to me, "Look, you're a big lad. Do you think you can work on the door?" And I was like, "No, I don't really talk to people. You know what I mean? I just about, you know, serve and whatnot." He goes, "No, you'll be alright." And he's the one that got me out of my shell. Because when you're working on the door, you have to be confident. You have to show, you know, authority and stuff like that.
And be personable.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you got to be personal. You got to be joyful. You got to be happy. You got to see customers, and that got me out of my shell. You know, that got rid of my, you know, my stutter basically.
Yeah.
Because, you know, now I'm talking for 6 hours constantly, saying good evening, how are you? You look pretty. You know, people conversating with you. What time you're closing and stuff like that. Small conversation, but it's 6 hours constant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and that got me out of my shell. So, you know, I owe my man 40 a big up on that one. But it's like everyone has to get out there. Well, you know, I believe, because nobody's going to give you that time. No one's going to teach you that. You know, if you want to do something, you want to make stuff happen, you have to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, people can stand there and say, "I'll hold your hand," you know, but the bottom line is, you got to hold that hand. You got to grab that hand and go with it.
I think you got to be able to explain yourself very quickly.
Yeah.
If you're in but like some of these people, you may be shaking the hand of someone very important. If you can't explain to them in like 5-10 seconds what it is that you are doing, whether it's your own career or your own.
Everyone needs to have an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
You tell me this then, Raf, you tell me this. If I said to you, you got a minute, sell your brand to me, how would you sell it?
It's very easy. Hi, my name is Raffael. I work with Dime Entertainment. We do concerts and experiences that I will never forget when they go into a concert. I am here requesting $150,000 in order for me to produce my next event.
To the point, I know what you do, I know how much you want, you know.
And you know why I'm here.
I know why you're here, and I know your name.
And you know what is the experience that my customers get whenever they go to one of my live events.
Exactly.
To the point, succinct, to the point, and why you're here and why you're asking for it. Because people are very shy to ask, "Oh my God, I might want to ask for $3,000 for him to pay me, or £3,000, but that might be too expensive." If you have that timid, you gotta go into the mirror right now and start getting rid of that, because that's not gonna get things done.
100%.
Yeah.
The thing is, what you described helps. Is like if someone knows what you want from them and they understand what they're going to get in return, that's a business relationship. So you may not be best friends, but they can look at you and be like, "This guy is going to make me X amount on my investment." So you don't always have to be best friends with these people that you're networking with.
Absolutely not.
If you're very clear, like, this is what I'm going to give you and this is what I want in return, that can work too. So it's not always like this friendly, happy, like you're not going to get that every time. We're lucky. We work with this group. I know I can call on anyone here if I need something, but that's not the case for a lot of people. So you can be comfortable with just knowing, like, my business is this, or this is what I want to do in my career. I'm the best at this. Like H saying, I make the best bow ties in the world. This is what I need from you to make that global, and then you get X in return.
And just to piggyback on that, when you start a conversation, you know that you're having a conversation with someone in a network, in a party, at an event, at a brand, and you know that this person is key in your industry, or that it could magnify your results by tenfold or whatnot, you need to let that person know within anywhere between 30 seconds to 2 minutes tops what they're going to get out of you.
100%.
Yeah, I think it's so important, because
what are they going to get in return?
You just never have that time to waste, do you, around people? Sometimes, I mean, you meet people and they're like, "Oh, let's go for lunch, let's do this," and then slowly they build. But some people don't have those 3 hours twice a week to give to someone, especially me, because I've got so much going on as well. I really appreciate someone telling me straight from the beginning, "Okay, this is what I do, this is what I can give you, you can give me," and you appreciate it a lot more than someone that sort of, like, you know, slowly tries to work their way in.
That's how I see networking events. You know, you're there for 3 hours, 4 hours if even. You know, you got a room full of 100 to 200 people. Now I want to walk out there where 200 people know my name. I want every single person in that place to know who I am, to know why I'm there. You know, out of those 200 people, I'll have 50 people call me. I'll have 10 people that are genuinely interested. You know, and that might not sound a lot. That's 5% of the room.
Yeah.
But that's 5% I didn't have before.
Exactly, it's brand new.
You know what I mean? You know, it's an opportunity. Now that 5% I've got will take me to another room with 200 people. Yeah, 5 times. So now I've been in a room with 1,000 people. All I need is 5% of each room.
And that multiplier already now is 25%.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? Don't, you know, the way I say it, I'd never walk into a room to myself, if nobody calls me, what's gonna happen? I don't care if you call me, if you don't call me. But I want you to know who I am and know what I'm here to do.
Yeah, exactly. And
you know,
they may not call you instantly.
They might not.
There might be like 6 months down the line, I met this guy H.
Mm-hmm. But they'll always remember him because of
And
the
that's
confidence
it. So,
that he
you know,
had.
don't be worried if people don't
And
call you.
sometimes you don't even have to meet the person. Like one time I was in a business call. We got a very minor business transaction, and I mentioned in that call that I also do digital marketing for other type of artists. And that's 6 months down the line, that person calls me and said, "Raf, I have a new project. I have a budget of $15,000 for that project. I don't have. That person is actually very established in the hip hop and R&B side of things, but he started a new project of Latino artists, but he didn't have that network, and that network I had. So just because I mentioned something that was part of like my forte, that person called me down the line. I didn't expect that call at all, to be honest with you. But what that means, if you actually make a good impression, you are about your business, people are gonna remember you. If they know that you have a proposal that is of value.
Yeah. So right, I've got to say this has been amazing today.
It's gone quick.
Right, it's gone really well. So closing words, Raf. So if you give me one of your major points of you walking into a room and making an impression, what would be your one point that you would say will make you stand out?
Smile, shake hands, and dial.
3 points, but it's still good. I'm still good.
He's American, man.
You know what I mean?
They supersize the points, right?
Guys, what would you say?
I would say just be genuine. Be yourself. Don't pretend to be like the person you think the other person wants to, hear from. Be yourself. Bring your real self to that conversation, because people do business with people. If they like you, they will, even if they don't have time, they'll make a little bit extra time for you. And I think I've seen that multiple. Most people I work with are through that kind of genuine relationship where I don't want anything from them, they don't want anything from me, but through just that first interaction, something happens where I might be like, actually, let me ask them this, or they say to me, you said this yesterday, I'm doing this, blah, 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 blah. Because it's genuine. It's not a fake conversation at all.
Yeah, Sharon, what would you say?
I would say the same as H as well, but I would probably say having a warm, welcoming persona. So if you're approachable at an event, then I think that's just your opening key. You've got somebody in, haven't you?
Yeah.
You have a nice, warm, welcoming persona about you. If you're very cold and unapproachable, people will be scared to approach you. So
that's something you can practice,
just have
right?
a nice, warm, welcoming persona about you. Like you said, with a smile. I think they actually all go together, don't they?
Yes.
The warm persona, welcoming, smile, they all go together to make you more approachable.
This is stuff you can practice in the mirror.
100%.
Yeah.
If you're creeping yourself out while doing it, then imagine the other person on the other end, right?
So the way that I would describe it, me walking into a room is mindset. If you walk into a room with a mindset you want to make money, you're not going to make money. If you walk into a room with a mindset of having opportunities will lead to other opportunities, which will lead to you making money. But if you close yourself just to making money, you're not going to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because people
But then if
see
you
that.
come across like that,
If
you're
that's
very
it,
cold,
you
aren't
don't-
you?
you
If you're
don't
just,
wanna be
okay,
like that,
money,
100%. You
If
want
you're
to
very
be
cold, aren't you?
open and have a mindset that you're there to have an opportunity to make something happen. Because that's how people will engage with you. That's how they'll make an opportunity happen. So, I would love to say on that final note, opportunities are key, smiling, being genuine, and being open. With these things, networking can be very, very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Beneficial.
100%. That's the one.
But talking of this and opportunities, Raf is probably here looking for opportunities for Dime, right? Like, what's the why? Like, you guys coming here? Is there like
we getting the show out of you?
Yeah, is there like
Yes.
UK need to get ready for this?
We're getting ready for a show.
Yes, we're getting ready for a show. We're gearing up with a big Latino superstar. I cannot mention it just yet.
That's cool.
But it's gonna happen sometime in the late summer, early fall. That's all I can say. Look out! It's gonna be an event for Dime in the UK. It's gonna be the first one.
Yeah,
So-
you heard it here first. So we're gonna keep everyone up to date. People listening to us, please, you gotta come, and you can meet us in person, right?
100%. You will,
Yeah.
and you will get this on the Elite Network Association.
And if you show
Instagram.
up, to the concert with Bowtieme or a Soi86 or one of the garments by Sharon,
one of the gowns.
One of the
one of the gowns.
I love
If
the
you
gown.
show up with that, I'll give you a free drink on me.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. You heard it here first. All right. So again, thank you everyone for showing up today.
Yeah.
I'd love to say this has been amazing.
Yeah, man.
Amazing. You know what I mean? Good company. It's what
Thanks,
matters.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Peace out.
Take
Thank
care.
you guys.
Thank you.